Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. Today's video is a little bit of a mix between a ranking video and a top 5 foundations of the year video. I asked you guys in my last video which type of video you guys preferred. I think most people said top 5 foundations, so that is mainly what we're doing today, but I did have a few people who said ranking. So here is my combined idea of the two. I will rank my top 5 foundations for you, but I'll also mention very quickly the foundations I tried this year that didn't make it to my top 5 and the reasons why they didn't make it to my top 5, but like without going too much into it. So if you're excited for today's video, don't forget to please give it a thumbs up, and if you are interested in trying my top 5 foundations of 2025, I of course have them listed and linked down below in the description box for you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I went through all of my videos and my foundation drawer, and from the looks of it, I tried around 14 new foundations in 2025, and let me rapid fire to you guys the ones that I did not like or I didn't like enough for them to be my top 5. Starting with the Hourglass Illusion foundation. I tried this one right at the beginning of the year. This one and my skin just don't play well together. Ultimately, it just gave me a little bit of texture. There were 2 foundations I tried this year that were too dry for me. One of them was the Benefit the Professional foundation, too matte, too dry, and it looked it. And then the other one I think I already gave away, so I'll give you a picture right here. It's the Maybelline Lifter Sticks. Whenever I used it on its own, too dry, too matte, and I looked it, so I did not like it. Moving on from that, these next 2 foundations I'm about to mention weren't necessarily super dry on my skin, but they did have a flat finish on my skin, which as someone who has very dry skin, I don't prefer. And so for that reason, they didn't make it to my top 5. I'm talking about the Charlotte Tilbury Reformulated Airbrush Flawless Foundation. Yes, this works on my dry skin. I can wear it. I just don't prefer the matte finish. It doesn't make me look dry. It looks pretty good, but I don't prefer the matte finish. And by the way, I have videos on every single one of the foundations I am mentioning today, so if you want to check out the video with the wear test and how the foundation looked on my skin, definitely do so. The other foundation that simply just had a bit too matte of a finish for me was the Anastasia Beverly Hills Impeccable foundation. Now this one I like a little more than the Charlotte one because it's a little thinner, but it ultimately still was a bit too flat looking on my complexion, and therefore I did not love it. Moving on to some skin tints that I did really like but ultimately did not become a favorite of mine. The Makeup Forever Super Boost Skin Tint. Honestly, this is really good and it could have made it to my top 5 if it had just a tad bit more coverage. It's the same issue I had with the other skin tint I'm about to mention. I just needed a tiny bit more coverage from them and they would have been perfection. The other one I am going to mention in this category is this NYX Buttermelt Glaze right here. Both of these look beautiful on my skin. They made my skin look super hydrated and glowy, which I absolutely love, but I do have rosacea and I do need my redness covered, otherwise I'm not fully happy with the makeup product, and these two needed a bit more work in the coverage category for my redness, and so therefore they didn't make it to my top foundations of the year. I have 2 more foundations to mention. One of them I didn't like because I like glowy, but this was like super mega shiny. Like it made me look oily all over from the beginning and all throughout the wear test. The shine is intense on this Lancome skin tint, which is a shame because I was so excited to try it and I love how thin it is and I love the coverage it gives me, but it is so damn shiny. I can't even tell you that I like it that much. And then the last foundation that didn't make it to my top 5 is this Wonder Skin All Day Stay foundation. I tried this one recently and I like it okay, but it just didn't wow me. I like that it's thin. I like the coverage. It looked pretty on my skin, but I'm not as excited about this one as I am about the top 5 foundations of 2025. So those were all the ones that did not make it. And now let's get into more detail about my top 5 foundations of 2025, and I am ranking these from my 5th favorite to my number 1 foundation of the year. By the way, I hope you guys like the way I formatted this video. I figured it would be a nice way to like mention mention everything but not go into detail about everything. Anyways, my fifth most favorite foundation I tried in 2025 is actually a Sephora collection foundation, and it is the Sephora collection Best Skin Ever foundation. This foundation, being Sephora collection brand, is very affordable, and 2 to 3 times a year Sephora collection has a 30% off sale, so you can get this foundation for less than $15. I believe, if I do the math correctly, it might be like $13 that you can pay for this one during the Sephora savings events. Anyways, this foundation is phenomenal. It has a very thin formula with a beautiful coverage. Let me add some on the back of my hand for you. I have the shade 11Y, and here's the foundation blended on the back of my hand. It has a beautiful medium coverage, fully covers all of my redness. It has a natural finish to it, not too glowy, not too matte. It wears incredibly beautifully all throughout the day. I'm going to find a clip of me wearing this foundation and insert it for you so that you can see what it looks like on my skin. Redness fully covered, wears beautifully throughout the day. It is not a thick foundation at all whatsoever. It's pretty thin. It sinks right into the skin. I love the color. I love the finish. I have found myself reaching for it quite often, and so for all of those reasons, this right here is my fifth favorite foundation this year, plus the fact that it is a very affordable foundation. I love my luxury foundations. I love a foundation that has a ton of skincare in it. I love a foundation that has beautiful packaging, but honestly, an affordable foundation that works really well on my dry skin also makes me very happy. And so for all of those reasons, this right here is my fifth most favorite foundation I tried in 2025. In fourth place, I have another very affordable foundation, even more so than the Sephora collection one. This is a drugstore foundation, and I am talking about the Maybelline Superstay foundation. You guys, this foundation is so freaking good. The only drawback is it does smell a little bit of alcohol, but honestly, it looks so good on my skin that that doesn't bother me. This foundation is super affordable. It is extremely thin. It blends right into the skin. It has a natural to glowy finish. Let me put some on the back of my hand to show you. I have different colors of this one, so this might be a little too dark for me right now. Take a look right here. This one's even thinner than the Sephora collection foundation I just showed you. It spreads so easily on the face. It has a stunning medium coverage. This is definitely my summer color. It has a natural to glowy finish to it, and it stays looking the same on my very dry skin all day long. It doesn't get dry. It doesn't give me any texture. It doesn't change throughout the day. It somewhat reminds me of my Pat McGrath foundation, which is still a top favorite foundation of mine because of the finish and the coverage of it. It's like slightly creamier because Pat McGrath is the liquidiest foundation I own. This one's a bit more creamy, but see that like beautiful natural finish? Does it not look like what I'm wearing today, which is Pat McGrath, because I'm trying to finish it? It is affordable. It works for my dry skin. I have heard great things about it from people who have combination skin and normal skin as well. Lasts all day, does not budge, does not move. I have zero complaints about this Maybelline foundation. It absolutely is worth the hype. This one was very hyped up when it first came out, with reason. It took me a little while to try it, and I was so incredibly surprised that it worked for me, because a lot of foundations that are very hyped up online work fantastically for people with combination or oily skin, but once I put it on my very dry skin, I see dryness, I see texture, or it's simply too flat of a foundation. For me, this right here is perfection. So if you're on a budget or you're just simply wanting to reach for something more affordable in this economy, this right here is where you need to go. It is the most affordable foundation I'm going to talk about today, and it is pure magic. It is fantastic. Highly, highly recommended. Third most favorite foundation I tried this year is a foundation that I 100% expected to hate, and I fell head over heels for it. It's probably No, I was gonna say it's probably the most worn foundation out of my top 5 this year, but I've also worn number 2 and number 1 a lot. This was my foundation for the summertime. If you were here back then, you might remember I had a few months where I could not stop using the Merit The Uniform foundation. I used shade 22 on this one. It's my summer color and it looks so freaking beautiful on my skin. It was mind-blowing. This has has enough coverage to cover my redness, and that is the main thing for me when it comes to a skin tint. It sinks right into the skin, it looks extremely natural, and it has the most glorious glowy finish to it. And the reason I thought I would hate this foundation when it first came out is because honestly, a lot of things from Merit Beauty simply have not worked for me in the past. Merit Beauty is a brand that I think is very based off of like extremely natural looking makeup, and I like natural looking makeup, but it has to have a bit of coverage for me to truly make it work for myself. And I honestly expected a skin tint from Merit that was not going to meet that standard of mine. Boy, was I wrong, and I am so happy that I was wrong, and I'm so happy to recognize that I was wrong, because I could not love a skin tint more than I love this one. Let me give you guys my little swatchy swatch. This has mineral SPF 45 as well, which I thought was going to be suffocating on my skin. I'm usually not a fan of mineral SPF in general because it all feels so heavy. Not this. This feels lightweight. I don't know what the magic is. It is witchcraft. It is incredible. I highly recommend it. If you love skin tints, if you love a glowy finish or a foundation with really good mineral protection, this is where you need to be at. Anyways, remember, this is my summer color. Don't judge. It's very dark for me right now. But here is what that swatch looks like. The coverage is great. The glowy finish is fantastic. It is such a hydrating foundation. Oh, look at that glow. Such a hydrating foundation as well. So beautiful on my skin, long lasting. It wore all day for me every time I wore it. I was so close to not purchasing this skin tint this summer because I was so convinced that I wasn't going to like it, and I am so happy to have been wrong, and I'm so happy that I went to Sephora one day and tried it on the back of my hand and decided to give it a shot, because this is a surprisingly fantastic product. I am obsessed with it. It looks so good on my skin. Hopefully I can find all of the clips of me wearing all of these foundations to show you. Although I wore this foundation in like a million videos throughout the summer, so I couldn't possibly praise this one enough. I was considering it being my number 2 favorite instead of my number 3 favorite, but I really love foundation number 2 as well, so I decided to keep it the way I originally thought. Anyways, I don't have any more skin tints in my top 5, so if a skin tint is your preference, that's what you need to buy right there. Let's move on to my top 2 foundations I tried in 2025, which if you watch my channel often, I know I'm predictable, okay? My second most favorite foundation that launched this year was the very anticipated, highly awaited Natasha Denona High Glam Foundation. This is a hydrating, blurring, long-wear radiant serum foundation, and I'm not going to agree with the radiant part because it looks really good and very glowy when you first apply it, but I do think it gets more natural looking throughout the day. I think this foundation is going to be a lot of content creators' #1 foundation of the year, because I believe in my heart that this foundation works even better for people who have normal skin, combination skin, and maybe even oily skins than for me as someone who has extremely dry skin. With that said, it's my number 2 foundation of 2025, so I obviously also love it, and I in particular love it for the first 6 to 7 hours of wear, which is a really good period of time. Let me go ahead and swatch this one on the back of my hand for you. This foundation is hydrating, it is lightweight, the coverage is insane. Upon first application, it has a beautiful glowy finish to it. It sinks right into the skin, makes you look smooth. It truly has that blurring effect that it claims. Look at how glorious that looks when you first apply it, like upon first application. And if I had to just judge it for the first 4 to 5 hours of wear, this would be my #1 foundation of the year. Again, the issue I have personally with it is because my skin is so freaking dry, my skin sucks the moisture out of this one, and I end up looking a bit flatter. Not necessarily dry, I don't get any texture from it, but a bit flatter looking than I would prefer. After 6 to 7 hours, it does turn a matte finish on me, which is not what I prefer. I would love it to stay looking as radiant as it does when you first apply it all throughout the day. With that said though, it is just such such a flawless looking foundation. The coverage, the blur of it feels extremely luxurious, and I believe with this one you feel the good skincare ingredients in it acting on your face, because it truly just feels fantastic and calming on the face. This foundation was developed in Korea, I believe, with like Korean skincare ingredients on it, although it was made in Natasha's lab in Italy. Anyways, it is a fantastic foundation. I'm going to show you what it looked like freshly applied. I'm even going to show you what it looks like at the end of the day, so you can see that it still looks fantastic. It's just a bit more flat looking than I would like it to be. With that said, I highly enjoy putting this foundation on, and it is a 10 out of 10 foundation for me. I would say if I had to like rate my top 5 foundations, obviously my number 1 would be a 10 out of 10. The Natasha Denona is a 10 out of 10. Merit, 10 out of 10. My number 4 ranked Maybelline would be like a 9.5 out of 10 just because of the scent of it at first. And then the Sephora Best Skin Ever foundation would be like a 9 out of 10 for me, just because it's a little thicker than like my perfect preference. Merit, Natasha, 10 out of 10 for sure. Love those foundations, and they have definitely become some of the top foundations in my entire makeup collection. And with that said, let's now move on to my most favorite foundation of 2025, and it is a foundation I thankfully tried at the beginning of the year, so I have had a lot of time to think about this one and love on this one and reach the conclusion that it absolutely is my number 1 most favorite foundation I tried this year. And I'm of course talking about the very luxurious Givenchy Prisme Libre foundation. And you know I love this one because I don't just have one color, I have 2 shades of it. At first I got the shade 2C, which was a bit too light. I then switched to 3C. Sometimes I mix, sometimes I go a little darker. I never really use 2C on its own. And even though this is a pricey foundation, I do not mind having to had purchase 2 because I love this formula so freaking much. This is a skin improving foundation. It has a weightless blurring glow and a plumping and hydrating serum added to the formula. This also, like the Natasha Denona and even the Merit one, does feel very skincare oriented, which is great. It feels hydrating on the skin. I do agree that it has a beautiful blurring effect, and the only reason I love this one more than the Natasha Denona one is because this one does keep that natural to glowy finish of it all throughout the wear of the foundation. It looks as good when I first apply it all the way to the end of the day, and that is incredible. If the Natasha Denona foundation looked at the end of the day the way it looks when I first apply it, it would probably have been my number 1 foundation of the year. But because it doesn't, and it does get a bit more flat looking on me, Givenchy wins. And the drawback that Givenchy has from Natasha Denona for me is that Natasha Denona is a bit more liquidy, which is my preference, and Givenchy is a bit more creamy, which in the case of the Givenchy foundation I don't mind too much because it's like a tiny difference. It's not a thick foundation at all, it's just a bit more creamy, and it's such a hydrating foundation with such a beautiful glowy finish to it that I absolutely do not mind the fact that it's just a tad bit thicker than the Natasha one. And I am talking about very, very minimal differences here because I want you guys to understand exactly my thought process behind the way I ranked my top 5 foundations of 2025. Anyways, take a look right here at the stunning glowy finish of this Givenchy Prisme Libre foundation. I just love that healthy glow that it has. You can see the back of my hand looks like a just healthy, hydrated, very even skin, and that is the look that this foundation gives my face, of course, as well. And it looks like that all throughout the wear test. It is very consistently beautiful looking on me all throughout the day, which I absolutely love, and that's definitely what's made it become one of the top foundations in my entire collection, and what made it qualify as my number 1 most favorite foundation I tried in 2025. If you want to treat yourself to a very nice foundation, this is 100% the way to go right here. If you have very dry skin like I do, just thank me later because this foundation will look flawless on you from beginning to end. It doesn't matter how long you wear it, it will look fantastic on your skin. And so here is a little clip, a little video of how this foundation looks on mine from the beginning of the day, and I promise you all the way to the end I absolutely love this foundation. Remember, I do have all of my top 5 linked in the description box down below, so if what I said about any of these 5 products speaks to you, definitely grab it from down there. Whenever you use my links, it helps out my channel. If you guys like today's video, don't forget to please give it a thumbs up before you leave. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back in the next video. Bye.